Welcome to the Pure Performance Cafe. May I take your order?
Yes, I would like a shot of Pure Performance, please.
Coming right up.
Welcome to another Pure Performance Cafe episode. I'm still in Estonia at DevOps Tallinn, and now with me Arnab.
Hi, Andreas. I'm Arnab, and it's a nice conference, I would say. And I just had my talk on ChatOps.
Yeah, and it seems you've been interrupted quite a bit because unfortunately, what happened?
Oh, yes. So I think it was a 40-minute talk, which went up to at least 60 minutes, and multiple fire alarms, and in different languages, I would say the alerts were given out. Yeah. So yes, but still, I think it went well.
Yeah, and we were wondering, is it a bot that is giving us the message, or is it a real person, which correctly perfectly fits into the session you had, because you talked about ChatOps. So can you give us a quick recap of the highlights of your talk, what people should know about ChatOps? Because you've been obviously doing this for Tata Consulting for big companies.
Yes, sure. So when we look at ChatOps, the key elements that I definitely covered today is starting with the key triggers as to why somebody should look at ChatOps in two categories, not only from the process perspective, but also where the market maturity is moving in terms of software delivery and framework. Mm-hmm. Then we looked into the confidence building process as to how you should start with, I would say, a hobby project to a hackathon, then to a proof of value, proof of concept, then make it more of a reactive, proactive, pulling information, and so on. And then we looked into the maturity curve in terms of how do we really roll it out in an enterprise, starting with having workflows and consensus, security model, integration with larger systems, your ecosystem that you should choose wisely, and of course the aspects of scalability. Yeah. And finally, we wound up with some fun facts and caveats that one should be, of course, and always be careful about of what the bot should do. For example, have certain hardening in the engines and so on. What kind of information that we should retrieve and so on, because GDPR is coming in. So yes, these are the aspects I think that we just saw in my talk.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting, especially talking about GDPR. And I think you mentioned some examples in the finance business. Obviously, there's certain regulations, so you cannot just automate everything through ChatOps maybe, but actually you can, because you just have to follow the right rules, and you just have to implement checks and balances on whatever workflow you have, right?
Yeah, of course. So, for example, it's not only with the banking industry, but also many other industries wherein we are dealing with customer-sensitive information. Yeah. We have to be very careful. So, for example, if you integrate a ChatOps with a masking tool. So, for example, when you're interacting, some of the information based on the rule that you have defined or you have agreed in the enterprise, it is passed through a masking system. Perfect, so you're safe enough. Yeah. So that's why you need to weigh out, first of all, prioritize the use cases, what creates the most impact, and I would say see the fun and value out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the end, I asked you the question, so what do people typically, what's the first use case or use cases that people tackle with ChatOps? And your answer was?
Yeah, so what we have seen definitely is people start looking at getting the basic statistics of a system. For example, how is the machine performing? How is the virtual machine performing? What is the load on it? And so on. So it's retrieval of information in that aspect. And then once you have built confidence, you are able to work with the APIs, etc. You then start pushing information back to the system. Like, for example, restart a simple service for me in the system. And then you scale up further and further.
Pretty cool, yeah. And I think we mentioned this briefly earlier in the discussion. We at Dynatrace, we have our own ChatOps bot. We call it Davis. It's our natural language interpreter, where you can actually, we actively push information to a Slack channel, but then you can also chat with it. Like what you said, how is my system doing? Yes. What's the performance? Do we have any problems? Give me more details about the problem. So these are very easy things to automate, especially with all the data that we have.
Yeah, of course. So that's really nice to hear that about, and I like the name as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course. And once you have got this core set up, you can just keep on adding more and more functionalities. And also you can diversify a single bot to multiple other bots to perform some specific activities as well. For example, you can define a bot to just take action on the production system, say for restart of services and deployment. And maybe the others to take care of your risk stuff or your CMDB updation and all those things. So you can have a plethora of bots perform multiple actions and help you make your life easier.
Cool. Hey, if people want to follow up with you, what's the best way to reach you?
You can either tweet me on my Twitter channel. That's Arnab Sinha 4U. 4 is the digit 4 and U is for just to you. And or you can just drop me an email on arnabsinha4u@gmail.com, and LinkedIn, just search me by my name, you'll get it.
Perfect. We'll make sure to put the links also up on the podcast page. But thank you so much, and keep ChatOpsing.
Yes, it was a pleasure. Thank you.